Coming up, we're going to talk about and give away our favorite things from 2014, and we'll be talking with Brent Davies, cruise director on board the Disney Magic. We're also going to have a chat with Disney legend Jodi Benson. All that coming up next. From the Disney Magic and Podcast Cruise 5.0, this is the Diz Unplugged. Welcome to the show, coming to you from the Disney Magic. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, Jenny Lynn Knopp, host of the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged, Tom Bell, Mr. Corey Martin, Kevin Close, and of course, the genius, John Magi. Back at the production table, our producer Dustin West, along with associate producer Craig Williams. We would have loved to have the entire team up here, but as you can see just from how we're set up, we would have been all the way over. It would have been too much. So want to make sure we give big shout outs to Teresa Eccles, Kathy Whirling, Julie Martin, there she is. And we also have the members of the Disneyland team here with us. Tony Spatel, where are you? There he is. Nancy Johnson. Mary Jo Willie. And of course, Michael Bowling. So really happy to have everybody here. We hope you have enjoyed your week. I know I certainly have. We do have a couple of things that we want to just mention quickly in housekeeping. Last week I announced that Teresa and Jenny Lynn were going to have their own show starting in January. I can tell you now that will start January 7th, and it's going to be called The Trip with Teresa and Jenny Lynn. So January 7th, 1 p.m. live as we do. That's a Wednesday, and that Thursday will be the start of the new version of the Universal show hosted by Craig Williams. Julie Martin, Jenny Lynn Knopp, and a new member to the Universal team, Rhino Clavin, will be on that show. So that will be Thursday, January 8th. Those are weekly shows. And very, very excited about them. Also want to remind everybody, anything that we talk about in our show can be found on our show notes page, dizunplugged.com. So, I know John has some thank yous he wants to get out, but I have some thank yous first. Well, I want to make sure, this year in particular has been a very busy year with some of our trips. Of course, we had our amazing Adventures by Disney Viva Italia trip that was custom designed by the one and only Kevin Close. It was an amazing, amazing trip. And of course, the work that went into putting on this cruise. These things do not organize themselves, and the amount of work that has been put in is amazing. So I want to say very special thank you to Tracy Heinrichs from Dreams Unlimited, who managed all your reservations and all your changes and all your issues. Did an amazing job with that. Kathleen Bobbitt, John's assistant, is incredible. I don't know where she is. There she is. Did incredible. And of course, the work Kevin does and always does, amazing. But we really, really need to thank John. It's awesome to see his creativity come out in these events in particular. Nobody throws a party like John does. Nobody throws a party like John does. So I just want you to know I'm very grateful for the work you put in. Really.
Appreciate that. Oh, we have a tippy table.
Sugar!
Sugar!
Don't explain that.
Somebody's had sugar packets and they've been putting them under the table to keep them from wobbling. So all morning I've been screaming, sugar! So what's that?
Maybe sweet and low would work better.
Aw. But I know you have some thank yous that you want to...
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate that acknowledgement very much. We have a couple of folks who stepped up and volunteered during this cruise to help out. Pretty much anytime we asked them to do anything, they were huge help to us and helped us expedite a lot of our events. I want to thank very good friends of Kevin and I, Keith and Kathy Dahlgren.
Yay! Right in the back.
Keith took all of your pictures during the Jody Benson autograph signing, and Kathy helped organize our lines. I appreciate that very much. Also, a big thank you to Katie Whirling, Kathy's daughter.
Yay!
Again, Katie took pictures, but she is the person who just, please help me do this, and she runs off and does it, and no questions asked. To the members of our Disneyland podcast team, anytime I ask you guys to help me with anything, looking for credentials or organizing anything, you guys stepped up. Very, very excited that you were able to be here and help us. Thank you guys very much for all the help that you gave us. And Pete stole my thunder a little bit because I was going to save the two that he mentioned for last. Two people that I could not have done this without. There's no question about it. Tracy Heinrichs, we mentioned earlier again.
More applause for Tracy.
In addition to that, Tracy also helped with organizing the events and getting everything in place. And of course, Kathleen Bobbitt. And again, these are two folks who, what I would say to them was, let's see if we could all hang off the side of the boat. And they would go, sure, off the side of the ship. And they go, yeah, let's try that. And then we'd come back and we'd figure out something else we can do, something else we can do, something else we can do. So they worked very, very hard for me, and they worked very, very hard for all of you. So thank you both very much for all the hard work. That's it for me.
Well, I think there's one more person we have to thank. He is our coordinator for these groups on board the ship from Disney Cruise Line. He's become a very good friend, great guy, David Gadsden from Disney Cruise Line. Thank you so much. And I also, another person from Disney that has been incredibly helpful this trip is our new district sales manager for Dreams Unlimited, Jack Sharp. Who we now refer to as Sugar. He's the one running around with the sugar packets, so we're calling him Sugar Sharp. He's so happy I'm saying that on camera.
Yes.
Tens of thousands of people are going to watch this. All right, now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, just want to spend a few minutes talking about the cruise so far and what our favorite things of this cruise have been. So I got to tell you something. Jamaica, that port, how gorgeous is that port? I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable going out and saying, because I've done a little shopping in the Caribbean. A little bit. Best shopping port in the Caribbean. It's, honestly, it's so not crazy and crowded, and you don't have people running into you, and you don't have people, oh, come on into my shop. Real aggressive with the pricing, too. I mean, these guys are competing for business. And they're really willing to work with you a lot more than I've seen in a lot of other islands lately. So I really enjoyed Jamaica, and you don't have to go anywhere. I mean, I know the people that did excursions came back and said they were amazing. But for me, I was just real happy to stay in that port, do some shopping. I know you guys did some damage yesterday.
A little bit.
Kevin got a bauble.
I had Red Stripe.
You had Red Stripe? Yeah, they'll liquor you up. They'll liquor you up if you're shopping. So
I can tell you what my favorite thing was on the cruise. First of all,
you're out of order.
Well, he made eye contact. One of the things that I like are the unplanned moments. We've had a couple of lunches and a couple of places where we sat down, and you get to know the people who listen to our show who feel like they know us, and you get to know about their lives. I really enjoy that. And it's hard to do that on a grand scale, so it's one of those things that just happens sort of organically.
I just don't like when they make eye contact.
Really. My other favorite thing was we went to see Big Hero 6 last night, and I loved it. I thought it was great. However, we sat in the back of the theater, Kathy and John and I, and my favorite thing was I couldn't see the kids, but you could tell how much they were enjoying it. The giggles and the laughter, it made the movie even more enjoyable, because things that as an adult I didn't find that amusing, I found amusing because they were giggling so bad. So that was my favorite thing.
Something else I want to mention. Anybody else notice how much better the food on deck has gotten? I've been really enjoying eating up on deck. We've actually skipped dinner a couple times and just hung out up there and gotten like hot dogs and sandwiches and things like that. Really good job on the food upstairs.
My son's addicted to the shawarma.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that before this cruise, shawarma.
I think it tastes like mulch.
He adds a lot of barbecue sauce.
The F&B manager's right back there. I'll help you.
What about you,
Love
Jenny
it.
Lynn?
I've really enjoyed the ports. I haven't had much travel experience before working for Dream, so that's been really exciting for me to get to see new places and do some shopping. I got Rasta hair in Jamaica. That was kind of cool for me. I also really liked, like Kevin was mentioning, getting to know all of you guys here. The few that I've had conversations with that's been really special and meaningful to me as the newest member of the team. Most of you I'm still unfamiliar with, but I've really loved talking to the few of you that have come over to talk to me. That's been great. And it's been really nice. I love dinner. And my table is wonderful.
She doesn't have dinner at home.
Well, I have children. I have dinner
new
with 3
concept of
children.
dinner.
No, I have dinner with 3 children, so it's kind of nice to have adult conversation and we can laugh about stuff. It's really great.
Didn't you sit with Teresa? No adult conversation at that table.
No, she just popped up. How about you,
I'm
Tom?
going to say it for her. What the crap?
How about you, Tom?
Well, just echo what Kevin and Jane said, just running into people in the hallway. Hey, Tom, nice to meet you. I don't know who you are, but hi, nice to meet you. and you know, that people actually listen to you when you're talking. But the other thing I want to talk about is the shore excursion we did in Grand Cayman. When we were on the Fantasy with Jenny Lynn accidentally in July, we did the sea trek in St. Thomas, St. John, where it's the helmet and you walk around the bottom of the ocean. And we really liked it. So, of course, I waited too long. There's only like 10 people on each excursion and couldn't get it pre-cruise. So I went down to Port Adventures, and they're like, well, they just opened up one more excursion. We'll put you on it. You may not go because it won't reach the minimum. So 2 days ago when we went down there, check in, no problem. It was the 2 of us on the excursion.
Wow.
So West and I got a private boat out to the boat out in there, and we were going down on the bottom of the ocean, walking around, and
That's a
it was
cool
really,
experience.
really cool. Yeah. And I would be remiss, of course, if I didn't mention karaoke last night. Thank you.
How about you, Corey?
There are no pictures, are there?
Just
I hope there's a video. Is there video?
post it on Facebook.
I
wanna
want
see
it. On Facebook. I'll share it. On the Diz Facebook page. Okay. How about you, Corey?
I think we can all agree that the highlight is traveling with all of you guys. It really is a blast, and just running into everybody everywhere, even like in the ports and the clubs and stuff like that. But I think I have a lot of highlights this cruise, mainly because the kids are old enough to go into the kids club. It's very convenient and free. The nursery was not, so that's so it's really cool to be able to drop them off, and we can go do our thing and then pick them up, and they're really excited to see us. The kids, I think, what their favorite thing was also Big Hero 6. That was really cool to see that last night. We didn't see 3D. We did it in the Buena Vista. I know Julie's favorite thing is Sensa Spa. She went and got a scrub, and our And our dining room hosts have been incredible. I told them the first night at dessert that I don't do dessert, I like escargot. So they have been bringing me escargot every night for appetizer and desserts. So I'm on 16 orders right now. So that's a highlight.
Don't applaud that. Weird.
One of my favorite things was absolutely seeing Corey last night with guy liner on.
Oh, yes.
It was pirate night.
We have to talk about what pirate is, but there are different types of pirates.
I have another one. I have another favorite thing.
I'm gonna keep it clean.
I'm going to speak for everybody here. Was one of the highlights Jody Benson and her family?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We had Jody on Podcast Cruise. Was it Podcast Cruise 3 or 2? And
They know.
like I said, they just roll me out for parties. And of course that was amazing. I remember the reaction everyone had to that. What was so cool was to see that same reaction after this performance this year on this cruise. Especially from the people who had seen Jody before. Whole different experience, absolutely amazing. We're going to definitely talk more about that when we have Jody on in a little while, but I agree with you.
The addition of her family was spectacular.
There's an awful lot of talent in that family. There is an awful lot of talent in that family. That really was spectacular. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. How about you, John?
Well, I guess I have to sort of add to my favorite thing because everybody up here was so nice. Meeting all of you, talking to all of you, blah, blah, blah. My favorite thing, too. Kevin and I wouldn't say this is my favorite thing, but Kevin and I have a very nice stateroom. We have a Category T stateroom. It suits our needs very nicely. Has a walk-in shower for Kevin because we all know he's prone to falling down. And it's just a beautiful stateroom.
It is. Very nice stateroom.
Very nice. However, when we first got there, I'm going to go into a little bit of TMI for all of you. Our bed was very low to the ground, like 6 inches off the ground. And Kevin said, I am not going to be able to get on and off that bed. So we asked our stateroom attendant, Pa, who's very sweet, to please adjust our bed. And usually they bring out these little risers that they put under the corners of the bed, and that brings the bed up. Well, apparently Pa drug up a second mattress from somewhere. Reserve mattress storage that they have on the ship, which is great. Now the bed is a really great height, and it's excellent for Kevin getting on and off the bed. However, it's created the physical dynamic of sleeping on a bouncy castle.
Anybody else visualizing this?
Right?
You say that like it's a bad thing.
When one of us moves, the other one's up in the air. So, not my favorite thing, but probably my most memorable thing from this cruise.
It's very Princess and the Pea.
I was going to say that.
One of my most memorable moments was Mexico, because I've always wanted to go to Mexico from the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot, and I always wanted to visit that country.
Was it just like that?
It was a little bit different, especially when that one man grabbed my arm and tried to pull me in his store and asked me to give him a Mexican minute. I was like, maybe next time. Got to get back on the boat.
There are different types of pirates. All right. Well, next we want to introduce a man whose voice should be very familiar to you. He is the cruise director on board the Disney Magic. His name is Brent Davies. Brent, come on up.
I don't think I'm going to recognize him without the bing bong, bing bong.
Or usually when I hear his voice, followed by that, there is this very, very, very loud noise on deck. Oh, look, he brought a little toy.
I did. I bought you a present.
Wow.
This is for you. And I got something else for you as well, because I understand it's Your birthday. Happy birthday. Not today, tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh. You know, I'm not kidding. Never gotten one of these.
Oh, really?
Never gotten one of these. So that's very cool.
You never had an office.
Amongst yourselves.
That's the last one we have on the ship.
So, Brent, now you're from Australia, right?
Correct.
Where in Australia?
Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne. I
Yes.
haven't gotten out there yet. I was
Beautiful city.
Did the Adventures by Disney Discovery Down Under a few years ago. Oh, just fell in love with Australia.
Yeah. Beautiful country. I get home at least once a year. My wife is South African. I have so many familiar faces out here who know me and my wife. My wife used to work on the ship as well before we had started a family and had children. We get back to Australia and it's everyone loves going home, so I'm no different. I love home. I love seeing my family and friends. But Australia, make sure you get there. Hopefully we go one day on a cruise ship.
Oh, that would be... Well, John and Kevin just did... back in April, you guys did a sailing out of Sydney.
I didn't know you were going to talk to me again. Yes.
Well, that image I can't get out of my head either, but anyway.
We were in Sydney for exactly 24 hours.
It was great. We loved it.
For a day.
Per day.
And then sailed the South Pacific.
We did stay in the same building that Nicole Kidman has an apartment. That's my claim to fame.
Ooh.
They say that about all the buildings in Sydney to the tourists.
Say that right. See this ramshackled shack? That's where Nicole Kidman stays.
So tell me a little bit about your job in terms of, like, how long have you been in the cruise industry? How long have you been with Disney?
15 years this year, all with Disney Cruise Line. I started 15 years ago on the Disney Magic. I started in youth activities as a youth activities counsellor, taking care of the children. So I thought I'd come away for 6 months, and 15 years later I'm still here.
You're still here.
Fell in love with the business, the company. I think I joined right at the right time as well. I was in my mid-20s when I started, and I was sort of between going back to university. I'd applied for another degree after working for 5 years after leaving. And I thought, I'm going to travel around for 8 months or so before I head back to university, and then never went back and did that second degree. And there was just so many opportunities at Disney at that time. The Disney Wonder came out shortly after I started on the Disney Magic. So I started in youth activities, and then after 4 months, we started the crew staff team. We didn't have crew staff in the very beginning, so we started the adult and family programs. We didn't have much of that in the beginning, so I was crew staff. Then I came back on my next contract, and then I was the Port Adventures manager on my second contract, and I did that for 8 months, and I left, and then I came back and I was the assistant cruise director. So my job progression happened fairly quickly. I don't know if I would have stayed much longer if it didn't happen that way, but I saw great opportunities with the skill set I'd had from before I joined, and the company afforded me those opportunities.
Well, what was your background coming in, and what were you studying in college?
Yeah, I did what in Australia we call it human movement and sports science. The equivalent degree here, I think they call it now kinesiology. So I did a lot of the biomechanics and physiology. I thought I was going to move into sports coaching or sports development, something like that. And then I majored at university in management and marketing. And then I did a minor in outdoor recreation. So then I sort of pursued that career as soon as I left university into education, experiential learning with Outward Bound through a lot of the national parks throughout Australia. Then I moved into resorts. Opened up a business with a friend as well, doing corporate training and team building. And then I moved into local government doing some event planning. And then I thought, I applied to go back and do psychology. I've got a degree in psychology from working on a ship, I can tell you. But anyway, I could write a thesis tomorrow. So my background was more sport, recreation, event management. And then I've added on to that since being here with the whole entertainment thing that apparently we do. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of take me through a regular day in the life of a cruise director. I mean, something most of us don't get a chance to experience. When does your day start, and what does it look like?
I'm an early riser, so I generally come in around about 6:30, 7 o'clock. It's usually paperwork in the morning, looking at either the next day or the next 2 days, whether it's the next week as well. I'm lucky enough as well that I've been here so long I get extra projects to do as well. So I certainly look at different things that are on the horizon for next year's itineraries and so forth. Get given the task to have a look at
Anything
some of
you
those.
want to share that hasn't been released?
Everything I know has been released.
Oh. Right.
No, they tell me last because they know I'd tell everybody. So they don't trust the guy with the microphone. So yeah. And then because my team is 150 on this ship, then there's a lot of back of house work as well. There really is a lot of administration to the cruise director job that a lot of people don't see. So I typically get that done before everyone gets up to go to breakfast and start the events and activities. Then generally around mid-morning, I'm up in the youth activities area, watching our entertainment hosts up there present one of the programs and providing feedback to the technicians and the hosts up there on how those programs run. Then it's lunchtime, then we move into our afternoon events, and typically I'll hit one of the family events around the ship. Then small break in the afternoon and then back in the evening for the shows, touching base with the theatre cast, technical production manager, introducing the shows, do a couple of announcements here and there, more paperwork in between that as well. And then my most enjoyable is probably after the second show and just coming out to watch and enjoy everybody having fun through the evening. Mm-hmm. So that's a standard day.
So how many hours? How many hours a year?
About 14 hours a day, I think, I work, yeah.
How do you do that? Well, wait a second, I do it too. No,
Yeah.
not like that. I get to sit and drink coffee and sit behind a computer. That's why you're so skinny. You're running around the ship.
I put on weight when I'm at home, and then when I get on the ship, I tend to walk the stairs a lot. The first couple of weeks when you get back, I hope no one talks to me as I get to the top deck, because I'm out of breath. They start calling medical, but anyway. It's the enjoyment that I see in everybody, and I think just the energy that Disney Cruise Line creates with the families and the children, that's what keeps me up. And then if you are having a day like anybody where you're a little bit low on energy, I find myself gravitating to the youth activities area, and you only need to stand even at the entrance for 5 minutes. Like, okay, I'm in a good mood again. Yeah. So,
have your children been on it yet?
They have. We have a 3.5-year-old and a 15-month-old. So my family travels with me most of the time. My 3.5-year-old calls this Papa's ship. So I don't know how to break it to him that I don't actually own it, but yeah. We'll let that go on for a few more years. Yeah, he thinks I'm really cool right now. So yeah.
The first afternoon, West and Michael come up to us and say, yeah, we got into the edge early, and they said the guy that let us in said that, if anybody asks why you're in there, just tell them the cruise director let you in. Like, yeah, sure he did. It was really you, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I thought it might have been Andy from the Fathoms or something, but
yeah, no, it was me. Yeah, I sometimes throw my name around.
Well, speaking about working with kids on the ship, it's not just on the ship. I'm to understand that while we were in, I believe it was Cozumel and Grand Cayman, that you took a team off the ship into a children's hospital.
Yeah, I think that's one of the really great things. I think it's one of the things that's kept me here at Disney, is that the core values that they have as a company also translate into my personal life and family life as well. And it's really great to work for a company that dedicates the time to give back to the communities we visit on the ship. Disney as a company do amazing volunteer hours that they give back, and you bank through the company as well. But when we're able to give back to the communities as well. So on these maritime cruises that we have, not only do we have the theming around the ship, but we also go out and visit the ports of call. So we work with special needs schools and community groups to take some of the characters out into the ports of call with our volunteers. So we did that this particular cruise, and we did visit some of those schools in Grand Cayman and Cozumel, which was fantastic.
Awesome. And I noticed, I believe it was when we were in Cozumel, part of that team was getting ready to get off the ship, and they were so excited. You could just tell how pumped they were to do this. This wasn't like, oh, well, we got to go out and do this. They were so excited to go out and do that, and I just can't imagine what kind of impact that has, not just on the community that you're going into, but also on the cast members, being able to kind of bring that and see that response from kids in the community.
Yeah, we're in the lucky position where our crew members are asking for more and more volunteer events rather than the other. It's incredible. They really do want to give back their time We have an amazing crew on board, and they all work at least 10 hours a day, but they're always willing to give back. They visit these ports, of course, it's their second home for many of them. As we visit their ports, they have their favourite restaurant, their favourite coffee shop. They meet locals as well, so they really enjoy giving back as well. And we're never short of volunteers. We often have to say, well, can you go on the next one, because the facility we're going to doesn't have enough.
Nice problem to have.
That's a really great problem to have. So they love giving back. They really do.
Well, something else I wanted to mention that I thought was really, really cool. Was talking to a few crew members, but one in particular, G. Wayne, works up at the adult pool. Great guy from Jamaica. So I asked him, when you're here, do you get to go off the ship and visit your family? And he said, I was a couple weeks ago when they were here, because this is only the second time the Magic has been to Jamaica.
Yes, and my first time, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so he was able to the last time, but because they had a crew drill yesterday, it kind of made it too difficult for him to do that. Disney let his family come on the ship and spend the afternoon, his fiancée and his 7-month-old daughter. I thought that was so cool. And I guess that's, finding those ways to keep that morale. It's tough work. I think anybody with half a brain can imagine how difficult it must be 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, running. We'll see it on Castaway Cay too, the guys and the girls that we've seen at the bars and in the restaurants taking care of us are out there serving food, serving drinks, working the island. It's a lot of work for these guys, and kind of keeping that morale up must be, it must be a challenge.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons that we have such great retention amongst our crew is not just the mood that all of you, the guests, create here on board. It's a really great place to live and work, but it is that family values that translates not just from our guests, but that we put back into the crew as well. Allowing people to have visitors on board. Some of us officers are lucky enough to have single cabins on board the ship as well. Our family policy, I think, is the most generous across the cruise industry as well. So my wife and children can sail with me, or friends and family sail with me. My parents came out and sailed when we were in the Mediterranean earlier on this season. So it really is incredible. And day visits, whether we're in the US or one of these ports, and to have these Jamaican crew who are such great crew members have their family come on, it's really special for them. After so many years, they haven't been able to make it to the US, and they see where mum or dad work,
right,
or cousin or auntie or uncle. It's like, this is what you've been talking about. So, and actually get on and see it. It really is a special feeling for the crew.
That's awesome. It's awesome. Anyone have some questions for Brent?
I do. Disney, like any other company, creates fans. We could tell it just by the people that are sitting in this audience. One of the things that we hear all the time is, or we see on the boards, is, who's your cruise director? Is it Brent? Are you on with Brent? Oh my God, Brent's great. Brent. How do you guys deal with that? Is that something that's unusual for you, or do you take it in stride and say, this is just how it is, or do you go home and go, people are a little nuts?
Let me guess how he's going to answer that.
I've been lucky enough to be cruise director now for 10 years. I've got to be honest, after the first couple of years, some people are just overbearing. I found some of it...
Cover your ears.
No one here.
Yeah.
None of you. He's not talking about you.
Are you sure?
It takes a little while to get used to that attention, because as soon as you get off the ship, there's none there.
Exactly.
So it's a false sense of adoration, I guess, as well. So you have a profile on the ship, but when I go home, and I'm still Brent, I'm still a dad, I'm still a husband, I'm still a brother, but here it's like everyone wants to talk to me, and I'm going through it again now that my children see me not talk to them while I'm talking to somebody else, because I'm at work and they're in my workplace. So that's another adjustment for me as well. But I have to tell you, the large majority of guests are so respectful of me, my family, of the crew members. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. I'm used to it now, but I think the biggest thing is when you get off the ship and you don't know maybe a bartender, or you don't... And that's the best feeling coming back as a crew member as well. It's not just the guests who recognise you, but the crew as well.
Right.
Hi, Brent, how was your holiday? How's the family? And I was off these ships doing the Dream and Fantasy for several years, and I came back and people were like, oh, so did you just take a 2-month break? Like, time sort of didn't exist,
right.
And welcome back. It's a huge family amongst the guests and the crew. So the benefits far outweigh the adjustments that I have to make as well.
I know for a fact you have a huge following.
Huge.
The boards, everyone asks about Brent. And how is he? So.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are, the cruise director, in a lot of ways, is the voice and the face of the cruise line to the guests. You're the one we hear the most, see the most. You're out there at all the different events and activities. Cruise directors they have real fan followings.
Yeah.
And so,
And great accents too.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of cruise directors with a Louisiana accent. It just doesn't happen.
I have a question.
It's in the job description. Oh, yeah.
As a cruise director, what itinerary do you prefer? What's your favorite itinerary?
Whichever one I'm on right now. I've been lucky enough. I've been now with the company, as I said, 15 years, cruise director for 10 years. So I've done pretty much every itinerary we've done. I feel so very, very lucky to have done that. I have favourite ports around the world, I think. But I absolutely love Europe. I think Italy is my second favourite country.
Yeah,
it's just the rich culture and history in the Mediterranean when we go over there. I enjoyed a great season over there through the Greek Isles as well, just now this past season. Looking forward to going back to the Baltic. I was lucky enough to do most of the Baltic cruises last time. And Norwegian fjords, I've been to Norway before, but I've never cruised there, so really looking forward to that. So I don't know, I love experiencing new things. So I don't have a favourite itinerary. I have favourite countries and favourite ports, I think. So, yeah.
All right, well, Brent, I know you've got a lot to do today.
No, nothing. I'd love to stay.
Wow. I really appreciate you coming and talking with us. Brent Davies, everybody.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you So our next guest is a Disney legend. I think most of you know who she is. Nominated for a Tony Award for her work on Broadway in Crazy for You and the voice of Ariel in The Little Mermaid. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up, Jody Benson.
Do you want me to teach you how to work a microphone?
It's her first
The right
time.
way to hold it. Look at, there's a little Mickey. How cute is that? Hi. Hey. It's awesome.
This
awesome
is
to
great.
Be here.
This is
yeah,
great. Great
so
to
much
have
fun.
you again.
Thank you.
Like I said before, the performance you gave Monday was spectacular.
Well, it was my family. I had to drag them.
For
I had
those,
to drag them to do it.
well, but I think they're happy that they did.
I know.
'Cause they got a great reception.
It was like a kind of a last minute thing, because I thought, well, I know a lot of you guys and gals, and you've heard me sing, the old lady sing over and over again, and I thought we need to kind of spice it up. So it was really last minute that I emailed John, and I just let him have complete, creative decision about it. I said, what do you think about, ... And I think I pushed send, and reply came like in 45 seconds. I was like, oh, that was really fast.
Wow.
Yes, in all caps with like 16 inches.
Yes. And I know that they were a little bit leery, is this going to be like one of those bad American Idol, those bad American Idol tryout things where the parents think their children are brilliant. My child's the best, and then they're tone deaf, so they didn't really question is this going to be disaster? What is this going to be? So basically, it was just kind of like talking to the kids about it just a few weeks before, what do you think? And I said, and they were like, oh, yeah, I know. How many people? I'm kind of scared, and I don't know if I can do it. I said, I will pay you. Mommy will hire you. So the last one was the hubby. And here's my husband, he's so sweet. He's like, you know what, honey, they're just here to see you. And if you bring me, then they're gonna think that it's cheesy and that I need to be in the spotlight and it's all about me. I was like, they're not gonna think that at all, honey, please. He's like, no, let's just do the kids. So it was 2 days before that he came up to me and said, do you want me to do this? And I said, I really want you to do this for me. Just, can you? Okay, I'll do it. So it was like pulling teeth to get my family to do this.
Well, but you're the star in the family right now. But I didn't realize the career your husband had on Broadway.
Oh yeah. Big
and
career.
so it's one of those things where when he got up. When Kevin first told me that he was going to do Bring Him Home from Les Mis, that's a big song.
It's a
When he
huge
told me
song.
that during rehearsal, I was embarrassed. I blurted out, "Can you do that?"
And the answer to that question was a resounding yes.
Oh, yes.
Now, for those who were not here and who are watching, during Jody's performance, her son, her daughter, and her husband all came out and performed for us, and it was absolutely amazing. Now, we're not going to be including video of your kids at your request, and completely understand, but we do have a little video montage of that performance that we want to show you guys. So we're going to cut for a second and go to that. Hello. On behalf of the entire team, I want to welcome you to Podcast Cruise 5. I can't believe we have done 5 of these. Wow, that spot, I don't know how she does it. We are really, really thrilled that you are all here. This is a special cruise for me, my 50th birthday coming up. But the thing I have been looking so forward to is our guest this afternoon. She is a Disney legend who gave voice to Barbie in Toy Stories 2 and 3. She is a Tony-nominated actress for her role as Polly Baker in the Broadway musical Crazy for You, but you know her best as the voice of The Little Mermaid. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Jody Benson.
How are we doing? Oh dear, I gotta get going. Okay. I take my time? Pete's like, you take your time. Yeah, Pete, I take my time. I got my people. My people, you got people? What? You're gonna work with me? I'm gonna work with you. Madeline, you put up with that? That's your baby boy. He's spicy. He's a spicy boy. Okay. I better get out of this voice because I'm not going to be able to sink. Okay. I'm a little lamb who's lost in a wood. I know I could always be good to one who watch over me. Although he may not be the man some girls think of as handsome, to my heart he can would love you all to please welcome to the stage my best friend and my husband for life, my forever friend, Mr. Ray Benson.
You can take, you can give, let him be, let him live. If I die, let me die, let him live. Bring him home, bring him home, bring when I love to explode and soar above, out on the sea. I wish I could be part of that
It was an amazing performance.
Well, it was so much fun for me because, you know, I've been doing this for a really long time, and I love to sing, no doubt about it. But sometimes, but sometimes I just want to change things up a little bit, and I kind of like to sit back and enjoy somebody else. So for me to sing When She Loved Me and to just stare at my son playing the piano for me was just like pure joy. And so I got to just sort of...
Not a dry eye in the house.
I mean, it's just... And I know, it's kind of a weird song because like, when she loved me and I'm staring at my son. You know, that's kind of like, when she loved me, even though you're my son, I love you. You know, and I thought about, well, that's kind of a weird lyric to be staring at him, but I just was enjoying listening to him play. And then to get my daughter out, because she's like, I was like, honey, would you sing a song? She's like, I'm not doing solo. I'm not going to sing a solo. I'll sing with you, Mommy. And I'm like, what are we going to sing together? It's not like we can do A Whole New World. That'll be weird, you know? Two girls singing A Whole New World. We can't really do Part of Your World because that's kind of weird. And that's sort of my song. Although, when she was, I brought her up on stage one time when she was like 4. I was doing a symphony concert. And I brought her up, and she had a cute little, you know, poofy pink dress on. And I brought her up on stage, and I held the mic down. I was like, would you like to sing a little bit of Part of Your World? Well, excuse me. She just grabbed that mic, and she just started singing. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And the audience was like, whoa. And then afterwards, I was like, so what do you want to be when you grow up, honey? And she looked up, and she said, when you die, I'm going to be Ariel. I was like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I want that on a T-shirt.
I was like, oh, okay, kind of creepy, but sweet.
Well, you know, one of the things that that really stayed with me after that particular performance, you with your daughter.
Oh yes,
was,
we sang "Let It Go." By the way,
Let It
sorry
Go
for the
from
people.
Frozen.
That was my daughter's selection, and we broke it down. She broke it down. she actually organized, Mommy, I'm going to sing this because that's where I sound good. And Mommy, you sing that because I can't sing that. So it was all about what was best for her, basically. No, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Well, one of the things I really walked away from that performance was when she first came out, I could see how nervous she was.
Yeah.
And then about a quarter of the way through the song, she got that response from the audience, that applause, and you can just see the confidence come out in her.
The lights
it was
came on.
so awesome.
Yeah, the button was pushed. And, she had to do the show barefoot because we were rocking and rolling that day. And she had bought some real cute little $12 shoes, but they were this high. So she's like, Mommy, I'm kicking off the shoes. I was like, you go, girl. But a priceless moment, and I shared it with the audience, but I want to share it with the viewers, was after the song, we just grabbed each other and just hugged each other. And she whispered in my ear, this was totally awesome, Mom. Thank you so much. The best moment of my life. And it was precious. And she meant it. She meant it. So it's neat that you guys are part of pushing the button and turning on the light in her little heart, because I think this kind of started something for her. So we'll see where
awesome.
Delaney goes on from here. Who knows?
I was sitting in between my wife and Teresa, and I look over, and they are just dripping tears. I mean, y'all should have had boxes of tissues in every spot. I mean, they're looking all over the place for like tissues or anything to wipe their eyes with. I mean, it was
your
something
sleeve,
else.
whatever.
I was also really impressed with the job your son did on piano.
He was especially 1 hour before he came out to me. He said, Mom, I can't do this. I just can't. He's not, I mean, he leads worship at church and plays piano, but he always feels like he's in the background as one of the band members. And he doesn't like to have the attention. He's a little bit different than our daughter. He does not like the attention. Doesn't like people to be talking about him or looking at him or, all that kind of stuff. And so an hour before, he goes, Mom, just have Christoph do it. He can do it. I said, I know he can do it, honey. But I want you to do it because I want to be together with you as our family. I think it'll be really neat. So it was a huge accomplishment for him to overcome his, uncomfortable feeling of being in the spotlight. He doesn't really like that.
I don't know if all of you know this, but just before we went on, the grand piano broke.
Yeah.
And they laid an electric keyboard over the piano keys. None of you even knew it was missing. That's how good Christoph and Jody's son McKinley are.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. They were a little bit scared, because they were so looking forward to that grand that we've played on many times before. So it was a huge adjustment for Christoph, but it was an even bigger adjustment for McKinley. So I was so proud of him to overcome that. It was neat.
It was, an amazing day, an amazing performance. When you were on Podcast Cruise 2, that performance really stayed with me. I know it stayed with, I think, everybody who saw it.
Thank you.
And it wasn't that I went into this expecting that it was just going to be the same performance. I knew you would change it up and you would, do different things. But what you put together was brilliant.
Oh, good.
It was absolutely brilliant. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough.
It's our pleasure. We love this group, and it's just so great to be hanging out with all of you guys again and all you gals again. It's just been really, really wonderful.
Well, we don't get to rub shoulders with Disney Legends all that often.
I would also like to thank you on behalf of everyone, the generosity of your time after the show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I love that. That's a highlight. Because a lot of you I've seen before, so I feel like we're family and we know each other. And then throughout the ship and the excursions and at the shop, where Donna and her husband are at the shop every single night. Buying diamonds and baubles and jewels and bedazzles.
She has your number, doesn't she?
And I was just like, do you live here? Do you live in the shop every single night? She goes, well, you do too, because I'm seeing you.
Oh, she did a really good impression of Donna. No, it was awesome. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was kind of your trajectory into that Disney Legend role. As I mentioned, you had done Crazy for You on Broadway, for which you were nominated for a Tony. But you also did a play with Howard Ashman. And why don't you talk a little bit about that and how that kind of led to your path onto Little Mermaid?
Well, to where I am today, this was not part of my plan at all. At all, whatsoever. My goal when I was 8 years old, and I shared it with you guys, was to be a working actress, singing, dancing, and acting on Broadway, strictly in musicals, no voiceover. You know, back then, voiceover was at the end of your career. So if you told somebody that you were doing voiceover, they're like, oh, gee, you're on the back end. You know, you're on the outs of your career. So that was not doing cartoons. No, not a good thing. So my goal was to be in a Broadway musical. That was it. And I left home at 17, went to college for a year, got my first professional job in the middle of my sophomore year, and then left. Did not go back right away, but did graduate 10 years later when I was doing Crazy for You. I actually went back and graduated in person and, threw the cap thing off your head and everything. So that was really cool. But just putting that out there for parents so they don't think I'm a dropout. I did graduate just 10 years later. But again, the plan was Broadway, Broadway, Broadway. That was it. And it was Howard Ashman and Marvin Hamlish in Smile, which was an ill-fated musical that we just did our 28th anniversary live concert at 54 Below in September, which was amazing to reunite this cast of 16-year-old beauty contestants who are now, in their 40s and 50s. So
I just wanted to say I read an article just before I got on the ship, and Playbill magazine listed shows that did not make it on Broadway that should be returned. Mm-hmm. And one of the top shows they listed was Smile.
Yeah.
And they said they should only do it on Broadway if Jodi Benson would come back.
Oh, that would be scary for me to play a 16-year-old, but you would have to sit really, really far away and squint your eyes, and maybe you could pretend. But yeah, so it was because the show closed so rapidly and we all lost our jobs. Howard, I think he really felt badly for us. So he invited every girl in the cast to audition for Ariel. Now, we didn't know what we were doing, so back then it was reel to reel and just went into a recording studio, into a little rehearsal studio, pushed a button, said, here, read these lines, sing 3 lines from this song called Part of Your World, listen to Howard's tape, and just do it exactly like him. So I just kind of went to the ladies' room, came up with a voice that I thought, she sounds 16, jumped back in, pushed the reel to reel, boom, boom, boom. They sent it off to Disney, and a year later, without our names and pictures attached to it, my reel to reel was selected. So
wow.
The directors will tell you out of the 700, they don't know why they chose me. They just heard it and they said, that's Ariel. So for me, I just know it was a gift from heaven, directly sent from me to be part of this company, because it's a perfect match. It's a perfect match for me and for our family to be ambassadors for the Disney company and for feature animation. And like I said, I take my job very seriously, and I, as a role model and as children of all ages that are looking at me and watching our family and how we need to represent our company, it really is, it is my family. And when Roy was alive, Roy and Patty, we were part of the family, and he considered me like one of his kids. Roy Disney was just, unbelievable. And I'd always wanted to meet his uncle. His uncle passed away when I was a little girl, so I did not get to meet him. But I felt like through Roy and his family, and Roy Pat and his wonderful wife that just, flew me out to honor him at an event, Roy Pat Jr., Roy's son. I do feel like I'm part of the family. So it was just, I really feel like God just planned this. It wasn't part of my plan. It was just Broadway all the way. But the journey that God has just taken this amazing detour has been incredible. And I know now that this is my calling. This is the ultimate plan, is to be here with all of you guys and the amazing children. And I really do love kids. I think it would have been hard for them to hire an Ariel that didn't like kids, didn't like people, or it didn't like their character. But I love all my girls. I love Lady and Barbie, and I love all the characters that I play for the company. And so to be considered, like I shared with you guys at the stage, to be a Disney legend, when I thought the call was to release me and to retire me, and I really believed that. I was sitting in my husband's office talking to my coworker, my boss, Chris Montan, and was ready to get that call. I was really okay with it because it had been such a long ride. So it was just blew my mind to be asked, would you like to be inducted? Yeah.
Let me get back to you.
Yeah, after I dropped the phone.
How many no's do you think they get?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that ceremony to me was life-changing. That ceremony, I could not get through it. I had to go back to the stage manager, just say, I don't know if I can do this. I mean, you're just going to have to bear with me. I know I have a 2-minute limit, but you're going to have to just bear with me here. I have a lot of people to thank.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be at that ceremony. That was a beautiful
You were there.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a life-changing.
What were there, 5 or 6 princesses
The
on stage?
four of us princesses to sing together, first time ever. And to just have the opportunity to thank the Disney fans.
Make her bring them the next time, too.
Pardon?
Make her bring them the next time, too.
Yeah, that's right. Do the whole show. But it was, that Legend ceremony was life-changing. I will never forget those minutes and precious moments on stage with our Disney fans and being able to say thank you to everybody. Because that's the reason Ariel's still alive and kicking.
Right.
And swimming is because of all of you. So without Ariel, I don't have a job, and I love my Ariel. So I do. I love her.
We love her too. We love her too. All right, what do you say? We make a little magic and give some stuff away?
Yeah.
This is a tradition.
Stuff.
No, it's the end of the show. Everybody can go.
Gadgets and gizmos. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got free stuff to give away too. You want free things? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I love free. It's cool.
So,
what do we do?
A tradition every year. We do our favorite things, where members of the team pick their favorite things for the year, and we give one of them away. So first, we are going to start with Jenny Lynn. What is your favorite thing for 2014?
Well, one of my favorite things for not just 2014, but life in general, is Pottery Barn. Are there any other Pottery Barn fans out there? I'm addicted. I have 2 addictions. One would be Disney. The other is Pottery Barn. So I am going to be giving away a $100 gift certificate to Pottery Barn.
Awesome. Yep, that's all right.
I'm going to hand it to you.
I'll take care of it.
There you go. I can't read it.
Okay, 014-4599.
I'll take it.
You have to be
99.
present.
You have to be present. 99. There we go.
If you win, you have to come up front and talk to Kathleen.
Yep, come see Kathleen if you win.
It's your free stuff.
She'll
That
get your
sounded
info.
kind of ominous, didn't it? She's really nice.
All right, what about you, Tom? What is your favorite thing for 2014?
Well, my real favorite thing was my new Mickey tattoo, but John
No,
said
I'm not giving that away.
couldn't give away. Isn't there a tattoo parlor down from the Welcome Center?
I think there's one
Right
in
next to
Mexico.
the Welcome
Yeah,
Center,
there you
actually,
go.
yeah.
But just this last fall, I discovered the Carthay Manhattan at the Carthay Circle Lounge at Disney California Adventure, and I enjoyed way more than I should have of them. And just sitting there in that beautiful space with the music, and it's an awesome experience. So I think we're going to be giving away the ice sphere maker that's in the Manhattan. We're going to give away the ice sphere.
These really
ice sphere maker.
cool.
I want this so bad, but I have no use for it.
It's really cool. So we're giving away
And maybe
ice
the
sphere
recipe
maker.
for the Manhattan. Yeah.
Okay.
Something else away as well.
Okay. Oh, we're going to do that too? All right. So that you can enjoy the experience, we're going to give you an iTunes gift card. Is that what it is? Okay. Or are we talking now?
Just go ahead.
Okay, the iTunes gift card. We discussed a couple of things. iTunes gift card, so you can download the Circle Sessions, which is the music from Carthay Circle Restaurant.
Awesome. All right.
This is the one.
This is the one. 0144143. 43. Got to be in it to win it, folks. 4143. Going once, going twice. 0144143. No? All right, let's pick another one.
Okay, another chance.
What you get for not coming to my show?
That's what happens.
I will withdraw my love and support. These are all going to be 0144, so we'll just do the last three digits. 339. 339? Really?
I'm guessing the same person that had 41 had it.
0144 339. There we go.
That's a lucky table back there.
Yeah, what's going on at that table?
Is it fixed? Is it fixed for that table back there? Spread the love around.
Corey, why don't you tell us what Julie's is?
Julie's is Zulily. It's a discount website for mom, children, and babies.
I thought she made it up. You don't know what it is?
She's been doing a lot of the Christmas shopping on Zulily, and there are like name brands. You get Disney, My Little Pony, and I think the list goes on and on. Am I correct? So she is giving away a gift certificate to Zulily, I think, for $100.
$100.
So
Really gonna mix them up. Julie, I'll try to get you.
All righty. 226. 226. 0144 226. Back here. Awesome.
How many tickets do you have?
Oh, we sold. We raised. Well, we raised some money for Give Kids the World.
We raised $1,100.
$1,100 for Give Kids the World.
Our total for the auction, thank you, Kathy and Teresa, was $4,100 and $4,140 is what it was.
$4,140 raised for Give Kids the World. That was awesome. All right, Corey, what about yours? What's your favorite thing?
mine is it's called Dropcam. It's pretty much it's a plug-and-play video camera for your house or office, and it connects.
Amazing.
And it connects to your Wi-Fi, and there's also an app, and you can kind of check out your whatever room you're recording on your app. And I need to tell you why we got it.
Tell us.
Well, the reason why it wasn't really for security. It was because we have a little Ferris man who likes to. One morning we woke up and our entire new furniture was covered in cornmeal. So a whole bag. So I have a drop cam in the kitchen, and what you can do, you can like outline certain areas of the kitchen and in certain times of the day. So between 8:30 and 9 a.m. or 8 a.m., if that pantry door opens, I get an alert on my phone. Yes. So drop cam.
So, drop cam. Let's go ahead and pick. I love drop cam, by the way.
All right, here we go. This is the one. Hopefully you'll be with somebody who has children that are wild and crazy.
Let's see. 274. Last three digits. Evelyn. Very good.
Does it work in Canada? You have to,
They don't have electricity
you know, get
in
it the
Canada.
crank cam.
So,
She's like, I'm just sitting
yeah.
here.
Jenny Lynn, what was Teresa's?
Okay, Teresa is going to be giving away a gift certificate to Skechers because Skechers is one of Teresa's favorite things. So much so that one time when we took a trip to one of these Dismeets, she stopped in one of the airport shops to buy a pair. She's one of those people.
There is nothing wrong with airport shopping, Teresa.
All right, Skechers it is. All right.
Walk in Teresa's shoes.
$100 gift certificate to Skechers, 034. Last three digits, 034.
Oh, good job.
There we go. Now, Kathy Whirling's favorite thing for 2014, can anybody guess what it was? Nope. It was a Keurig. Which is also a Keurig coffee maker with little pods. Keurig. It's Keurig, whatever. But that's Kathy's favorite thing, a Keurig. Every year it's her favorite thing. It's also my favorite thing. I use mine like crazy, but it's not my favorite thing
Who
today.
misses their Keurig?
Oh, yeah.
We actually were selling Keurig to Kathy and Keith Dahlgren, so much so that he ordered one while he was on the ship, so it would be home when Kathy got home.
497.
Oh, get out!
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
That's funny. Well, now you have two.
Now you have one for upstairs and downstairs.
Oh, wow. What are the odds of that? Oh, my goodness. That's so funny.
I really love
You can send the
that
other one
moment.
back.
It was fantastic.
He only paid me $10 to pull in this ticket.
Let's shoot back to you, Craig. What's your favorite thing?
I chose an Apple TV because everyone needs more.
Yay.
Yeah.
Love my Apple TV. So who gets an Apple TV? What's that?
That's my number.
596.
That table.
What is up? Wait, is it back here? Oh, well, yeah, there. Wow. That table. I'm going to tell you, some of you people are going to want to move back to that table in a little bit.
You might want to fight for seats.
We might want to shake those up a little more. All right, Dustin, what about you?
Yeah, I'll keep mine pretty quick. My favorite thing is the Philips Hue lights. And these are smart light bulbs that we actually have quite a few in the studio for the podcast. But this particular starter set is 2 Philips Hue Lux light bulbs. So they don't change color, but they dim up and down in brightness. And it also comes with the bridge to connect to your Wi-Fi. So just like Corey's drop cam, you can control your light bulbs with your phone.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
And I use that all the time, turning lights on and off, changing things, especially when you're traveling like this. And you can set up alarms and timers and all sorts of stuff. It's really, really cool. So let's see.
When the pantry door opens, turn all the kitchen lights red.
Yeah. 046. I'm just looking back in that corner. Yeah. 046. Over here. Awesome.
Aren't you the dad that did the aqua dunk and then I said, no, I'm not going to do it? That wasn't you. Okay. I chickened out yesterday. I went up to do it. And then the little girl in front of me said, it hurt my back. And then I was like, I don't have a shirt on. I just have my swimsuit. So he said to come back and do it with a shirt on so I didn't get a boo-boo. So I'm going to do it today.
We can have people there with cameras. All right, Kevin.
My favorite thing is I read about this company long before they ever started selling their merchandise. My favorite thing is a Shinola watch. Shinola Watch is a company, it's Swiss movement in an American case in an American band, and they decided they wanted to make a watch that would rival the big guys at a much lower price point. And they took a map of the United States and decided which part of the United States needed the most industry. And they decided to open up their factory in Detroit to try and help Detroit with their, exactly. I
Right.
think it's very cool. And I had read about it, and we were in the Caribbean. We were in St. Thomas, and you know St. Thomas has one or two jewelry stores. I happened to just walk into the one that sold, the only one that sold Shinola watch, and I was talking to the gentleman, and he had just come back from the watch show in Geneva. They have where they introduce new products and things like that. And he said it was 5 floors. And the first 4 floors were the big guys, Rolex, Patek Philippe, all the names you know. And he said you could walk through them, and it was a ghost town. At Shinola, there was a 5-hour wait to get into the showroom. They are now selling them in more places. My favorite has a sort of vintage 1950s look. It's called the Runwell. Comes in 3 sizes. It comes in 36 centimeter for ladies. Comes in 41 if ladies or gentlemen like a mid-size watch, and it comes in a 47 millimeter size, which is a bit...
If you're like Corey.
It's a bit, well... You can't see the Shinola from space. Corey's you can.
Yeah.
But it does come in a bigger size. It's got a 1950s vintage look to it, and I'm giving away a $550 gift certificate so you can go out and get your own Runwell.
And let's see who gets a Shinola watch.
Wait, before you say the number, one more thing. These watches are guaranteed for life, and their sort of tagline is, these watches are so good your grandchildren will give them to their children.
651. 651 for a Shinola watch.
All right.
There we go.
Return it.
Do a little swap.
All right, so I'm going to give mine away next. I received my favorite thing last Christmas, and it blew me away when I got it. And every single day I use it, and every single day I love it. It is my TiVo Romeo 6+ tuner. If you guys are not familiar with TiVo, TiVo is a DVR, a digital recording device, and the TiVo Romeo has 6 different tuners. You can record 6 shows at once. It's amazing I get any work done at all. In order to use a TiVo, you have to have a subscription to TiVo. That's an extra cost. So I am also going to cover the cost of the subscription. You will get a lifetime subscription as well as the TiVo Romeo. Someone knows the value of that.
Yeah.
So, that is coming up next.
TiVo Romeo with a lifetime subscription.
TiVo will change the way you watch television. Trust me.
Oh, if you don't have one, you'll never go back. You'll never be without it again. This is the one. 6, 3, 5. 635 back here. Awesome.
All right, now I have a surprise.
Okay.
I did not want to be outdone by Pete, because Pizza's really good.
Mine's very good.
Pizza's like...
Pizza's good. His
blow
is
your
good.
mind good.
Dang, I don't have a coupon.
So I am going to give away a second prize.
You're still not going to beat me.
I'm still not going to win. The next one we're going to draw is for a 6-night, 7-day Walt Disney World Magic Your Way deluxe dining stay at a deluxe resort for 4 people. I'm getting my picture taken for that.
All
6
right.
nights, deluxe resort, deluxe dining, up to 4 people.
Pressure, too much pressure, John. Oh, gosh.
Neither did I.
I know, I threw Kathleen a curve too.
Okay, I think this is it.
This is it.
Okay.
Blame Jody. 7.
What? 7?
You ever been
0.
booed, Jody?
Hold on. 7, 0, 4. Where?
It's my girlfriend. I knew it was going to be
104. Great.
She deserves it.
Yeah?
She deserves it. Yes, she deserves this. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Awesome. All right. Now for mine, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'm going to draw the number first.
No. Too much pressure.
No, because I want this particular experience.
When the winner is called, you have to come up and stand here with me.
Why don't you stand over here? I'm serious. Not messing around.
I'm so nervous.
It's a puppy.
It's a guest spot in my next concert.
Oh.
Tryouts are today.
I hope you're. Yeah, tryouts are today, and I hope you're not tone deaf. Too much pressure. Oh, I hate this. Let it be the right one.
Come on, Jody.
Jody is choosing your feet.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. I can't. Okay, this is it. This is the one. I'm not even gonna look.
You should. When you start, if you got the first number, stand up.
Oh yeah, let's do it like that. One at a time, and then sit down if it's not. Yeah, let's do that. That's fine.
We want to see your misery.
I want to see your disappointment.
All right, everybody stand up.
Stand up.
Everybody up. Everybody up.
Who knew Ariel was this cruel?
I like this. I like it. This is fun. Okay.
I'm going to read the first number. If you don't have it, sit down. 0.
They all begin with 0.
They all begin with 0, don't they?
No. Because these are the last 3 digits. Last 3 digits. So if you're...
Back up.
Everybody stand back up. Stand back up.
We haven't had enough coffee. This is very confusing.
It's like Jane Fonda aerobics.
All of them start with 0144. Okay? All of them start with 0144.
Right? Yes. Okay.
0. It's all good, dear.
This is good.
It's all good.
It's confusing.
6. 9. Who is it? 069.
You're not here?
If 069 is in here, man, this is a bad day for them.
Did you go to the bathroom? Did they go to the bathroom?
Going once, 069.
I'm nervous.
Going twice. Everybody up.
Oh, they're going to hate themselves tomorrow.
No, I didn't.
Pete made up the first number. It's not real.
Bad day to sleep in.
Here it is. It's right here. This is the one. Here it is.
You said that about the last one.
They had to go to the bathroom.
It's a bad time.
Last 3 digits. 1.
The faces are hilarious.
9. 3. 193. We have it. Come on up. Come around this way. I think they did. Just watch the camera. Just stand right over here by Kevin.
Congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations.
Right here in front of me.
Who are you?
I'm Bill Bond.
Well, Bill, you know, I had an interesting year. There were a lot of favorite things for me this year. Pretty much anything Kevin does is like become my favorite thing. You know, Kevin turned me on to Coach, so I got into Coach bags. Kevin turned me on to Shinola watches. I've got 5 of them now. Kevin turned me on to Louis Vuitton, which I love Louis Vuitton now.
It's not Louis Vuitton.
But the thing that Kevin did that turned me on the most this year an Adventures by Disney trip to Italy. You are going to go to, you're going to do the trip I am dying to do. You are going to go to Tuscany. You are going to go to Florence. You are going to go to Capri. You are going to see Pompeii. This is an Adventures by Disney trip for two valued at $11,000. Merry Christmas. And ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this episode of the Diz Unplugged. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with you again next time with another episode. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you so much.